أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا غريب يا شهيد كربلاء فيا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. Tonight is the night of Sham Ghariban, the night of those who were lonely, who were estranged in the land of Karbala, not having any supporters. The real tragedy on the family of Imam Hussain happened after the martyrdom of the Imam and his companions. That's when they lost their guardians and protectors. That is when they were taken as captives of war. In Ziyarat al-Nahiya, al-Imam al-Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajah states, and they took the women of your family as slaves, وَسَاقُوا أَهْلَكَ كَالْعَبِيدِ, and they chained them with iron. Imagine, this is the most honorable family in the history of humankind. And they take those women and children like slaves, like captives, prisoners of war. This was very heavy on the heart of Lady Zainab. This was very heavy on the heart of Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, to see his aunts, to see his sisters, to see his nieces, to see other women from the family of the Prophet taken as prisoners of war by all these evil and vicious and ruthless men. The real tragedy starts on the day of Ashura. What happened to the family of Imam Hussain alayhi salam? On the day of Ashura, after the Imam alayhi salam was killed, Umar ibn Sa'd ordered his men to trample the body of Imam Hussain and to crush the bones of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. These people had no humanity in them. You killed him. What do you want with his body? No, he wanted the body of Imam Hussain to be trampled. Imagine the women and the children. They know this is happening to the bodies of their loved ones. How difficult that must have been on their hearts. Yes, and then Umar ibn Sa'd, he commands his army to go and set the tents to fire. The women and children, they were in their tents. That was their only refuge. So they set those tents to fire. Now the women and children are running at the plains of Karbala, running barefoot from one tent to the other tent, trying to save their lives. One narrator states, I saw all the women trying to protect their lives except one lady. She was standing guarding a tent, and the fire was spreading rapidly. And she wasn't fearful for her life. So I approached her, I told her, O servant of God, why is it that you're not running for your life like these other women and children? Why are you standing here? She said, I have a gharib in the tent and I am protecting him. I am Zainab. And my nephew, Imam Zain al-Abidin, is there. I cannot leave him. I need to protect him. Because she knew those evil men wanted to kill Imam Zain al-Abidin. And indeed, they attempted to kill him. Shimr ibn al-Jawshan, he storms inside the tent of Imam Zain al-Abidin. He sees the Imam lying on the ground, and there was a sheet beneath the Imam. He was sleeping on that sheet. Shimr comes without any mercy, violently and abruptly, he pulls the sheet from beneath the Imam alayhi salam, hurting the Imam alayhi salam, discomforting the Imam alayhi salam. Then he draws his sword. Lady Zainab alayhi salam rushes and she falls on the body of Imam Zain al-Abidin. She tells him, shame on you, you'll kill me before you kill him. You have no right to kill him. You've not been instructed to kill him. Leave him. At that point, Shimr ibn al-Jawshan, he retreats and he leaves the tents. This was the state of those women and children. Imagine. Imagine this happening to your family. women and children just running in the desert from one area to another area. Those men, they went into the tents, they looted whatever they could find in the tents. Some of those children, they were wearing earrings. Those men came and they wanted those earrings. That's how much greed they had. But because the kids were running and they were in a rush, they did not stop to gently pull out the earrings. You know what those horsemen would do? They would pass by these children. They would grab them by the ear and just pull the earring, wounding the ears, ripping the ears of these children. Imagine your father dies, your uncle dies, and on top of that, evil men, they rip your ears. Ya Allah. What happened? What happened to the family of Imam Hussain on such a day, on such a night? Yes, and Lady Zainab alayhi salam, she witnesses all of that. Now they were extremely thirsty. Hamid ibn Muslim, who was basically a journalist attending Karbala, he says on the 10th of Muharram towards the evening, I saw a little girl. Her clothes had caught on fire. I approached her and I told her, can I do anything for you? She said, are you with us or against us? I told her, I'm neither with you or against you. I'm just here observing. So I helped her extinguish the fire. And then after that, I told her, who are you? She told me, oh man, have you read the Quran? I said, yes, I have read the Quran. Tell me, who are you? What does this have to do with the Quran? She told him, have you read this verse? فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. As for the yatim, the orphan, do not hurt the orphan. He says, yes, I've read that verse. Why? She told him, I am yatimatul Hussain. I am the orphan of Imam Hussain. Hamid ibn Muslim states, I realized that she is the daughter of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Then I realized she's very thirsty. I told her, come to the river, let me give you some water. He says, when her eyes fell on the flowing river water of Furat, she started to cry. She said, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Peace be upon you, O father, you were so thirsty. Then she asked me a question. She told me, when my father farewelled me, he was extremely thirsty. His lips had dried out completely. Tell me, did they give him water before they killed him? He told her, no, unfortunately, these men, they killed your father without giving him any water. He says, I had given her a cup of water from the river. She spilled it. She refused to drink. And she said, how can I drink the water when my father Hussain died thirsty? Allahu Akbar. He says, this is just a young child, just a few years old, and she has this much ma'rifah, loyalty towards her father. So he says, I feared that she would die from thirst, so I took her to Zainab. I told her, give her some water. I'm afraid she's going to die from thirst. Yes, Lady Zainab, she gathered all the women and children towards the evening in one tent. She did a head count, making sure that no one is missing, but she realized 2 children are missing, 2 girls are missing. She went looking for them in the battlefield, in the plains of Karbala. Finally, she saw them hugging each other. And they had fallen on their faces on the ground. She tried to wake them up. She tried to lift them, but she realized that they had passed away. Those 2 girls, they had died from thirst. How much can the heart of Zainab handle on the day of Ashura? Ya Allah. Lady Zainab alayhi salam goes back to the tents. Oh believers, she now is making sure that everyone is in the tents. But then she realizes that Sakina is missing. So she goes out in the darkness, in the loneliness of this night. And she is looking for Sakina. Where is Sakina? She hears a faint voice coming from towards the body of Imam Hussain, where the Imam's body lay over there. She approaches the body. She hears the faint voice of Sakina saying, my dear father, who is the one who orphaned me at this age? My dear father Hussain, who is the one who severed your head? She saw Sakina hugging the body of Imam Hussain, kissing the severed neck of Imam Hussain. Zainab tells her, Sakina, it's dangerous out here. Why did you come? She tells her, I got lost. I didn't know where to go. I saw those evil men chasing me. They would hit me with the back of their spears. So I came running towards the body of my father Hussain, seeking refuge in him, seeking protection in his body. Ya Allah. Lady Zainab alayhi salam helps her get up and they go back to the tent. She does another head count. This time Lady Zainab realizes that Rabab, the mother of Ali Asghar, is missing. Where are you, O Rabab? Again, she goes back to the battlefield. Imagine the responsibility that lay on the shoulders of Lady Zainab. She goes back to the battlefield, trying to look for Rabab. Where is Rabab? She approaches the body of Imam Hussain. She sees a faint voice crying over there. It's the voice of Rabab. Rabab, why are you here? Don't you know it's dangerous out here? Why did you come here? Please come back to the tents. She tells her, Zainab, don't blame me. The last time that I saw my baby Ali Asghar, he was dying from thirst. And I didn't have any milk to nurse him. But now the enemies gave us water. They gave us some water. So I felt some milk running in my chest. I have come to the grave of my baby Ali Asghar, and I'm telling him, my baby Ali, come to me. I can now breastfeed you, Ya Allah. Only a mother who has an infant can come to know what happened to Rabab by being separated from her infant. Lady Zainab alayhi salam consoles her. She takes her back to the tents. Ya Allah, what a difficult night. All those kids crying. And Zainab, where's my father? And Zainab, where's my uncle? Where's my brother? And she had to comfort them because Imam Hussain alayhi salam asked her to comfort those children. Yes, O believers, on such a night, Lady Zainab no longer had the energy to stand up. But she did not forget her Lord. She did not forget Salat al-Layl, the night prayer. Imam Hussain had asked her in his will, O Zainab, do not forget me from your salah. On such a night, Zainab was praying the night prayer while sitting, and she would pray for her brother Hussain. Ya Allah, but then Zainab, she couldn't take it any longer. She wanted to go on the body of Imam Hussain. She wanted to pour out her heart to Imam Hussain. So she goes in the darkness of the night, finding her way to the body of Imam Hussain. But it was difficult to identify the body, O believers, because the body was separated from the head. How was she going to identify him so easily? She manages to find the body of Imam Hussain. She collapses on the body of Imam Hussain. Then she puts her blessed hands under the body of Imam Hussain. And she looks towards the heavens and she addresses her grandfather Rasulullah. Wa Muhammada Salla alayka Malikus Sama. My grandfather, O Muhammad, the angels of the heavens, they send their salams to you. Hada Husainuka bil Ara. This is your Hussain, your own Hussain. This is your grandson Hussain. This is your son Hussain on the plains of Karbala. You know what the poet says? One day on the chest of Mustafa, and one day on the plains of Karbala. This is your beloved Hussain. You used to kiss his neck. You used to carry him on your back. Ya Rasulallah, do you see what happened to your son Hussain? Your grandson Hussain is on the plains of Karbala. هذا حسينك بالعراء مسلوب العمامة والرداء. His turban has been looted. His cloak has been looted. They looted everything, even the ring of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. One of those enemies, he came to loot the ring of the Imam. It was tight. He couldn't pull it out. So he took out a dagger and he cut the finger of Imam Hussain. Ya Allah. This is your grandson Hussain on the plains of Karbala. مسلوب العمامة والرداء محزوز الرأس من القفايا. and they have severed his head from the back. Ya Allah. Then you know what she says? She turns to Allah. She says, Oh Allah, taqabbal minna hadha al-qurban, qurban nabiyyika Muhammad. Oh Allah, accept this qurban, this sacrifice of your Prophet. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا آل محمد أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. Raise your hands in dua. It's a tragic night. It's a sad night. But raise your hand in dua and say, Oh Allah, comfort the heart of Imam al-Mahdi on such a night. I don't know how Imam al-Mahdi makes it through such a night. Ya Allah. Oh Allah, hasten the reappearance of our master, Imam al-Mahdi, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah. Oh Allah, make us amongst his sincere and dedicated servants. Oh Allah, all those who are ill, grant them a speedy recovery. Oh Allah, fulfill our hajat and needs. Oh Allah, grant us the shafa'ah of Imam Hussain. Oh Allah, grant us the ziyarah of Imam Hussain. Oh Allah, protect the visitors of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. For those of you who are not in Karbala, I have prayed for you under the dome of Imam Hussain. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring you to Karbala so you experience the ziyarah soon, inshaAllah. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin.